The Trees for Class 10 CBSE. About the poet, Adrienne Rich was born in Baltimore, Maryland, USA in 1929. She is the author of nearly 20 volumes of poetry and has been called a feminist and a radical poet. Rich wrote several pieces that explicitly tackle the rights of women in society. In Snapshots of Daughter-in-Law, she offers a critical analysis of life of being both a mother and a daughter-in-law and the impact of their gender in their lives. Diving into the Wreck was written in the early 70s, and the collection marks the start of a darkening tone as she writes about feminism and other social issues. The Trees, stanza 1. The trees inside are moving out in the forest. The forest that was empty all these days, where no bird could sit, no insect hide, no sun bury its feet in shadow. The forest that was empty all these nights will be full of trees by morning. All night the roots work to disengage themselves from the cracks in the veranda floor. In this poem, the trees are in the poet's house. Their roots work all night to disengage themselves from the cracks in the veranda floor. The leaves make efforts to move towards the glass, while the small twigs get stiff with exertion. The poet talks about three things that cannot happen in a treeless forest. Birds cannot sit on trees, insects cannot hide themselves, the sun cannot hide its feet in the shadow of the forest. The poet says that the sun radiates heat and the given words sun's feet creates a picture of the hot radiating sun cooling its feet in the cool shadow of the forest. Now, the poet talks about the trees symbolically, but they represent women. Women have remained indoors, the forest has become empty, the birds and insects are rendered homeless. Similar to women, the trees are making efforts to set themselves free. Stanza 2. The leaves strain towards the glass, small twigs stiff with exertion, long cramped boughs shuffling under the roof, like newly discharged patients, half dazed moving to the clinic doors. I sit inside doors open to the veranda, writing long letters, in which I scarcely mention the departure of the forest from the house. The poet compares the branches of the trees to patients who were newly discharged from the hospital. The tree branches are cramped under the house's roof. So, when they get out, they feel relieved to finally leave the place they didn't want to be. As similar to a hospital where patients would always like to be free and discharged to go back home. In this stanza, the poet compares women inside the house as patients in the hospital. She talks about liberation of women. Stanza 3. The night is fresh, the whole moon shines and the sky is still open. The smell of leaves and lichen still reaches like a voice into the rooms. My head is full of whispers, which tomorrow will be silent. Listen, the glass is breaking. The trees are stumbling forward into the night. The winds rush to meet them. The moon is broken like a mirror. Its pieces flash now in the crown of the tallest oak. In stanza 3, the trees move out of the house, the glass gets broken, and the winds rush to meet the trees which are stumbling forward in the night. However, the poet feels that the smell of the leaves of the trees and the lichen still reach the rooms of her house. In the beginning of the third stanza, the poet describes the moon, saying that it is full and shining in the night sky. However, at the end of the stanza, she says the moon is broken into pieces that are similar to a shattered mirror. Earlier, it was a peaceful night, hiding the struggle that was going inside the house silently. The moon was full. The full grown up tree, like oak, with their boughs spreading out all around, have obstructed the sight of the moon. The poet hardly mentions the departure of the forest from the house in her letters because it is humans who did not care for the nature in the first place. So, it may be the poet now thinks that nobody would be interested in knowing about the efforts that the trees are making to set themselves free. The trees in the poem are merely decorative pieces just to beautify the house, but they have to be inside a forest to play a wider role. Similarly, the poet concludes by saying that the women are not decorative pieces, but they have to play a bigger role in the world. Thank you. For detailed notes and question and answers, log on to eduguru-notes.blogspot.com.